back to the Try You channel.
No, we don't give it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
What are you going to say? We don't give a...
Well, we don't give a hoot today.
What were you going to say, Stefana?
I wasn't going to say anything.
We don't give a...
Oh my god, this is really a lot of pressure. We don't give ass dairy.
Okay. It was going to be overgrown pussy. So hoot, ass dairy, overgrown pussy,
Wizard sleeve?
and wizard sleeve. What you had for what?
Is
We'll go
that
watch.
like a sexual...
That's a big vagina. A big vagina.
Wizard sleeve. Yeah.
Beef curtain?
Big vagina. Hit the like button and subscribe. Our camera person who's talking about dairy.
No, ass dairy.
Ass dairy.
Yeah.
That's an outsider's character. Ass dairy. Patrick Swayze plays ass dairy.
In Derry, Maine, that's where it takes place.
Oh yeah,
Takes place
yeah.
there.
I didn't
There's
read that
some ass
book.
there.
I haven't seen the movies. Let's get into what we're going to talk about. I got to reel you guys in. You're being assholes. We're going to talk about an album on Bucky's top 10 list. It's a good top 10 list in my opinion. I haven't heard all of the music on there, some of it, and one that I had never heard is a band called The Dramatics, and the album's a Dramatic Experience. All right, let's talk about it. I've only listened to it one time. And when I did, and I listened to it, and it made sense to me when I found out, even the first track, that they were on the Stax label. So I brought out, I have some albums like by Sam and Dave and the Bar-Kays, but I don't have an actual Stax except for this Watt Stax. It's a live, and I love the label, but if you just look, I've always loved this, their emblem. And can you see it?
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
But anyways, it's a really cool label. I believe they're out of Memphis, and the Bar-Kays got a song called Soulfinger, one of my favorite instrumentals of all time. Rufus Thomas is on there. John Spencer Blues Explosion had Rufus Thomas on an album. They got a song named after him, so it made me want to listen to Stax, and Sam and Dave and Booker T and the MGs. Got one of my favorite drummers ever that played for the Booker T, and with Otis Redding was on Stax, and
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah. There's just a bunch of great artists, and Stax is one of my favorite labels probably of all time.
Yeah, when I do my top 10 soundtracks, I think I might go back and watch some of the Shaft with the Isaac Hayes, because that'd probably make one of them.
Yeah, that's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
My dad and I heard a radio program at one time. It was all Stax.
Yeah.
And it was some of the best stuff I'd ever heard, but I've never been able to find a compilation that compared. There was an album called The Soul of Hip Hop, and it was all Stax people.
Yeah.
And they were showing a lot of this stuff's been sampled, and you've probably heard a lot of it that you don't even know.
Yeah.
It's a very influential label, and Bucky, good job in bringing out the Dramatics. I'll just say a little bit about it. I really liked the first song, The Devil Is Dope. I liked it all. I like their faster stuff a little better. I like the drum beats and stuff. And I think Beware of the Candy...
The man with candy in his hand?
No, that wasn't it. It was the last song. The second to last song. Beautiful People, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
No, Clap Your Hands. Candy in his hand. Clap your hands. Go good. Clap your hands.
Sorry.
Anyways, I'm getting off track. Jim, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
That begs the question.
It does beg the question.
You have the answer, Bucky, since you're the Dramatics guy.
I do. So this particular album, I was drawn to a little bit more because it was such a stark contrast to the first one. Their debut album was pretty upbeat. You're running the mill, very, instrumental, all of that. This one was a little bit different because it was darker. And one of the things I like about music is that you get to feel what the songwriter is feeling. Of course, the singers sing it, but if you have a songwriter, you get a sense of what's going on in their lives. So in this instance, this album, their songwriter, I forgot the guy's name, but he was...
it's not Darius Rucker.
No, it wasn't. That was decades later.
We talked about Darius Rucker a little bit in one of the last videos.
Oh, Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah, he directed Sound of Metal. The guy's name was Darius. I forgot. Yeah. Anyways, I was going to ask you though, before I won't interrupt you anymore. But there is obvious something about addiction and drugs, right?
Oh,
Run
absolutely.
through this. It's just right in your face, right?
Yeah, it can be blatant and subtle and everything like that. So the songwriter for the Dramatics was experimenting with drugs at the time. It was late 60s, early 70s. So, you know, it was just like a come one, come all kind of thing. But it was affecting him in a really terrible way. And of course, I mean, drugs usually always do. But he had gotten so deep in it that he had no other outlet. And so the interesting is that there's a lot of polarity in this album where one song is really dark, the other one is kind of, it sounds a little bit more like the songwriter style, and then it jumps back into one of the more darker spots, and it just goes back and forth, and there's really no balance. But that imbalance is kind of what makes it, to me, a beautiful album.
Yeah, there's some kind of like a dichotomy between like the upbeat rhythms and stuff, and then the kind of the dark lyrical stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought a lot of these songs could be all like on a Jackie Brown or a Tarantino thing.
Yeah,
Same.
Absolutely.
Do you think that the songwriter ever got so low, and you know what he was doing? He gave a hand job for a can of Busch Light.
We're incorporating hand jobs.
We got a hand job in there.
Well,
and
no.
Busch Light, which we don't get into a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, he never made it to that point, but I think he was probably starting there. But unfortunately, whoever he tried to do the hand job on stabbed him.
Oh no!
'Cause they found him in an alley.
Next time somebody tries to give me a hand job, I might stab him.
Yeah, let me know how that goes. We'll do a podcast on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try to find a movie that kind of coincide with that. But unfortunately, he met his ultimate end because of the things that he was doing for the drugs. But
Also, it was like maybe a deal gone wrong or something. He got stabbed.
Maybe
Oh, gosh.
dealing with shady people, whatnot.
Yeah,
but,
hand job would be much better than getting stabbed.
Exactly, or a hand job while being stabbed.
Well,
that's not going to happen. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So anyway, but yeah, that was knowing that or having that kind of feeling to the album, that connection with it, made me put it on my top 10 list. So.
I'm glad you did. I mean, that's what the point of the website actually is. And I mean, expanding on that, like if you post some other music now, I'm like, oh, I'm going to check that out. But I mean, it functions already in just your top 10. There's other albums I'll go back and check out, but the Dramatics was definitely worth it. And I'd say anybody that hasn't heard this band, and I think this is a really good starting point in the Stax label in general. And this brought me back to some of my stuff. Like I pulled out this album. I didn't pull out my Scrotum, but I did pull out a couple other albums. It was on the Atlantic. They have Sam and Dave and the Barkays. Barkays have an interesting story. That album I have with Soulfinger.
Yeah.
They all went on a plane, and most of the band died.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then that's the only time they have that lineup. Some of the guitar playing in that album is really cool, and it's just check out the Dramatics, check out the Barkays, check out anybody on the Stax label. Neil, say something funny. Neil's silent over there, but you did like the album, right?
Yeah, I did. I thought the range of emotions.
All right, let's just stop.
was it captured the guy, all the emotions through. It seemed like what he was going through.
When I heard the album, I thought you'd like it.
Yeah. I definitely thought exactly what you did. That some of the songs I thought maybe I had heard these in a movie or something.
I don't want anybody on these videos that aren't going to agree 100% with me. So good job.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because a lot of artists that were on Stax Records, a lot of people in hip hop, pop, even rock bands, they use some of the samples. Like Snoop Dogg was a very, very heavy Dramatics fan and even featured them in one of his songs.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, like the band I mentioned is an indie band, John Spencer Blues Explosion. I'm sure they had. I would imagine they listened to all the Stax stuff.
Yeah, say Explosion one more time.
Explosion.
Ooh,
It's crazy. You want me to say John?
Say it both, John Explosion.
John Explosion.
Ooh.
It's a John Spencer Blues Explosion, though. Don't listen to this fucker. Check out that band if you've never heard them. Rufus Thomas is on their album, Now I Got Worried. It's not on the Stax label. It's on Matador. Another really great record label. Getting long-winded here. You guys shut up. That's going to be it. Come to Try You. I don't know if we said like and subscribe.
But like and subscribe.
But like and subscribe.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.